another fun Funnel Friday, and we got a lot of great things that we're going to share with you today. So what I'm going to do, instead of you listening to me talk, I'm going to turn it right over to our CEO, Mr. Rick Cotton. So Rick, go right ahead, buddy.
Great. Thank you, Chuck. It's good to see everybody. We got a packed house today on a fun Funnel Friday. Chuck threw that in there. I like that. Fun Funnel Friday. I like that. So we have a special guest with us, Mr. Scott Tunis. Scott, can you hear us okay? Jump in here.
We are good. We are good.
All right. I don't see you, Scott. Where are you at?
I'm up there somewhere.
There you are. There you are. Good deal. Good deal. Well, welcome everybody. Today we're going to be talking about a brand new funnel. You guys maybe have seen the video that Scott and Stephanie put together. I'm going to meet everybody. And they did a phenomenal job with that. Scott, you'll have to unmute yourself again. But Scott and I were just talking about some things as we talk about this doctor's funnel that we're going to show you here in just a second. But Scott, let's just go ahead and kick it off. And I'd like to hear from Chuck and Scott, just your relationship as a patient, as a doctor, as a professional, and how you got involved, Scott. I know a lot of people have heard that, but I'd like to hear from you and Chuck and just kind of how that relationship started, because I think that's a model for a lot of us that want to go approach our dentist, our doctor, our professional offices in our area. And we know that those are some of the best locations, right? No matter where you go, some of the best locations are right there at those professional offices. So over to you, Scott. Chuck, I want to hear your story, guys. Chuck, you got to unmute yourself.
Well, my story with Scott. I mean, I found myself aging. My optometrist told me that as soon as you hit 40, you're going to have to wear glasses. And then I found myself wearing not only glasses for reading, but glasses for driving, and buying 3 pair and losing all of them, and on and on. And I said, I got to get some LASIK, right? So I searched out the best guy in town, and I came up with Dr. Tunis. And so Scott did my LASIK, and then here, I guess in the last 3-4 years, he replaced my lenses in my eyes, and now I have artificial lenses. So I have vision like a hawk, right? I mean, I can see anything, any place, anywhere, and never have to worry about that again. So, it's just been a fun time going and visiting with Scott. He's a very interesting individual, as you'll soon discover. I said, hey, I found something and I need to show it to you. And so when I got my first 2 units, I programmed and provisioned one of them for his office, one of them for his home. And he says, hey, when you get them in, bring them down, right? So that's exactly what I did. So Scott, from there, take it away.
Yeah, unmute yourself there, Scott.
Very, very good, Chuck, and thanks for the compliment. You okay?
Yeah.
Good. You got me?
Yeah.
We got you.
Okay. I thank you for the compliments, Chuck, and we're happy to help you. You still got me okay on the audio, Rick?
Yeah, good, bud.
Okay. I don't pretend to be an expert in marketing whatsoever at all. These other people are the marketing experts. I fashion myself more as a person who's an expert at being marketed at. And what I mean by that is I've spent 35 years in a dark room with no windows, seeing patients, and it's not uncommon that a patient will say to me, either one that's new to me or one that I've known quite some time, say, hey, doc, I got this business, take a look at it. And I'm always receptive to that. Chuck was a little different. I've known Chuck a long time. We always chat about entrepreneurial endeavors when I see him. And he called me up and said, hey, doc, you got a great location for a hotspot. And, you'll get paid just to host a helium hotspot and it won't cost you anything. Along with that lead in and the fact that I know Chuck, I said, sure, let's do it. And I didn't really understand it. My reaction was, I think, typical of most people's reaction that you present this to. They'll say, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of the helium. I'm not a tech person. I'm not a crypto person. But anyway, so Chuck said, I'll order the hot spots, and when they come in, I'll call you. Well, let's see, and said, I'm ready to put these in. And so I said, okay, we'll bring them by Monday. And in the meantime, I did some real homework on it now because he's ready to put them in. And I liked what I saw. I don't think I fully understood it at the time, but after he put them in and they were working for a few days, I called Chuck on the phone. I said, Chuck, I'm driving over to your house with a check for these hot spots. He said, no, Doc, you don't have to do that. I said, no. You don't understand. I'm buying these things today. So I think but my experience, I think, is a common thread. And particularly, I might be able to offer some insight into how you might present this to a medical professional. And, typically this is, and I welcome that. I understand everybody wants to promote their own business. As a busy professional, what I'm going is from one patient to the next. And it's not uncommon that somebody say, hey, take a look at my business. If they hand me something like a card or something, it goes in my pocket and I always look at it later. I always do. Because the next patient, if I don't have something in my hand, I'm on to the next patient and I'm ready to forget about it. But the real thread that affected me, along with, if somebody handed me something, Chuck didn't really have to hand me anything, but the real thing that would appeal to me is you have something. When somebody says to me, whether it's a compliment about my staff or a compliment about my office or how well we function, when I'm complimented, it gets my attention because I'm used to listening to complaints on a regular basis. But if a patient said to me, you have a great staff, you have a great office, you have an outstanding location for a helium hotspot, that you would get paid to host a helium hotspot, you have my attention. And that's a one-liner that's 20 seconds. That's at the end of the interaction, end of the visit. That I think that would get a professional's attention, whether it's somebody new to you or a doctor that you know well. You have an outstanding location for a helium hotspot. You would get paid to host it. And the reaction might typically be, yeah, I don't really know what you're talking about. Do a little homework, take a look at this, and then walk away with the card. It's a very quick interaction. It's easy. And I think when you compliment and tell the healthcare professional you have something, rather than the typical scenario where everybody in the door is trying to sell me something and it's never $500, it's always 50,000, and with a software license and a firmware upgrade and a maintenance contract. So I think there is an opportunity to do that. Doctors' offices locations tend to be centrally located, next to high tech, next to traffic areas. They're certainly going to transmit a lot of IoT data over the next 10 years, medical facilities. So I think you can approach people physicians in this way. But I think, as I was talking with Rick and Chuck about, I think there's a simple card, a simple link you can hand him that goes in his pocket because he's on to the next patient. He's not going to remember, but later in the day, he's going to look at it and remember that you complimented him and say, hey, I'm just going to take a look at this. And I think that's a good starting point. That's how it would reach me. And I'm pretty tough to reach, okay, in my office because I'm busy and I'm on to the next thing and I'm concentrating on serious things. Not that this isn't serious, but, we doing surgery in people's eyes. I'm trying to stay focused, but I would look at it later. If somebody presented to me that way, I would look at it. Now, Chuck's a little different. Chuck, I said, okay, Chuck, let's give it a shot. But I think you can reach a professional in that way, even if you don't have a close relationship. I think the funnel is if that card or that teaser, whatever it is that you give the physician or the healthcare professional has a link to the funnel, I think there's a very good chance that they'll go look at it.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. And we were talking about this earlier. So there's obviously a lot of different ways you can approach your healthcare professional, but and I love your story. I mean, if there's a relationship, and I think that's the low-hanging fruit for all of us, right? If we have our doctor, our dentist, that we have some kind of relationship, if we in our community with them, and we can approach them with that. And now, when you say a card, can you kind of explain that a little bit more, and maybe even talk about because a lot of times in healthcare professional offices, right, there's office managers, right? They kind of are the gate,
right.
the gatekeepers. Would that be a true statement?
Gatekeeper. Right, that is true. And I think that's an alternative approach that may gain just as much traction. Hey, this office is a great location to host a helium hotspot that you would actually get paid for. Can I give the information to your administrator? And that's because a lot of times, they're the gatekeepers, and that absolves the doctor from having to stop and think about it. Yeah, take a look at it. And I think that's another way to let them know what's going on.
Okay.
I think that's an outstanding idea.
Awesome. So guys, we're going to release this funnel to you guys today. Now we've talked about this. We actually have a lot other ideas. Scott's brought a lot to the table, as well as Stephanie as well. She's not here on the call today, but these guys did a great job. But we're going to kind of hone down this funnel, but we're going to give this guy in this funnel suite right now. We're not going to charge for this. We're just going to give it to you because we really want to beta test this. We want to get some data behind the scenes in the funnel. We want to get you guys' feedback. And so, again, there is a cost to running these funnels, the texting and the hosting and so forth. So, and we move them up pretty inexpensive for you guys, but this one, we're just going to include it in the suite for now, because we really want you guys to go out there and use it and just try it. And it's a little bit different of a funnel because it's the explanation on this is very well done. You guys have all seen the video. Chuck, you think we should play that video today? Chuck, you're muted there, bud. We can't get Chuck unmuted. All right, well, we'll play a bit. So I'm going to go ahead, Scott. There's Scott. Chuck, you're sharing your screen there, bud. Is that what you mean to be doing? Chuck. Hey, Chuck, you're sharing your screen. This is not a comp plan training.
Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Tunis, a board-certified ophthalmologist, a fellow of the American College of
Hey, Chuck, go ahead and let me host there, buddy.
36 years. For that time, I've had a lot of different business opportunities, and my response has always been the same.
There you go, bud. Chuck, stop. Just let me have the controls. Now, I'm going to show it in the funnel itself. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up and share the funnel with you guys. And this is actually live in your back office already. John is still putting some tweaks. We're putting the email series in there. I'm going to go ahead and share it, Chuck. You don't have to worry about it there, bud. Can you guys see my screen? Give me a thumbs up there, Scott.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, guys. So the funnel is located here, guys. You can see again. This will be a funnel separate.
To and from the.
Chuck, what are you doing there, bud?
I don't know why. I can't stop it.
I can't stop it.
Maybe jump out and come back in or something. That might end the whole meeting. Don't do that.
It's supposed to be funny, eh?
Yeah. This is Fun Friday. Fun Friday.
I can't stop it. I don't know.
You can't stop it. You can't just stop.
I can't stop it.
Scott's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Good start to the new weekend.
Chuck, just mute your line.
Just mute your system. Chuck, mute yourself out. Can you guys see my screen now?
We
Or
can.
no?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Chuck, whatever you're doing, just stop, all right? He wanted to bring the fun into Funnel Friday, I guess. But so anyway, guys, so here, back in your funnel section, we've included this in the suite, like I said. So it's going to be there. We want to beta test this for you guys. Get out there, just get out there to your healthcare professionals. Once I show you the funnel, I want you guys to have, maybe there's some more thoughts or some more ideas on how to share this. But really what we're looking for, guys, is to get out there and just in your local community, not go out there and blast it on the internet and do advertising and so forth, but just go out there and beta test in your local community and give feedback. And if you guys have some good feedback next week, we'll kind of dive into this. But Scott's already preparing some more videos in the professional areas so we can kind of amplify this and build a whole professional suite out of this. But I'm pretty excited about this. I love this. I love the video these guys did, and I love what we put together here. So this is going to be a custom funnel. So in here, you guys can add your story and photo, okay? And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you can just put your display name, because your contact is actually going to have your name, your phone number, your email there. And then also you can upload an image, okay? You can upload an image on here, and you can have your picture in there as well, okay? Now, there's also something unique in this one. At the end of the funnel, you have two options. You can actually have a call. You can actually drive them into the Helium network so they can see the Explorer. I don't know if this has happened to you guys, but it seems to happen every day. To me, is that you get somebody to take a look at the Explorer, start clicking on the dots. The dots can be a little bit addictive, right? And next thing you know, they want more information. As a matter of fact, I've never had anybody do any due diligence on this at all and not wanted more information. And so throwing them into that is a technique and a strategy that we want to test out. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. So you have a choice of putting them into the Helium network, the Explorer, or you can sign them up directly as an affiliate. Okay. So I'm going to click here and save my settings. Okay. Now for me, it's going to show me a login button because I'm already logged in as an affiliate. But if I wasn't, it would actually show me a link to sign up. Okay. You can also add a calendar on here as well. If you want to put a Calendly link on there, so you want to set up appointments. So at the end of the funnel, they want to book an appointment. They're very interested. You can put a Calendly link right here and it'll show up. Okay. I'll stick one in there just so we can see what it looks like. And then you can also connect the email series. Okay. The email series is going to be tweaked a little bit. We have the normal one in there that's associated with all the other funnels. We're going to tweak that out and make it a little more professional. And, we're going to put some Scott language in there, some Dr. Scott language in there. Okay. So here, going back up here, guys, here's your link right here with all the funnels. All these funnels are independent. So every funnel has a different link. You can use the funnels independently. You know that you have a hosting funnel, a custom lead magnet funnel, a live webinar funnel, which you guys have been doing great with in the last few weeks. You guys are using this funnel. We've been having 50, 60 people on these live webinars during the week. So great job there. But this is the new funnel, the professional office funnel. And this is your link right here. Okay. So you click on this link and we'll walk through the funnel. Okay. Are you a doctor, dentist, or a professional? Get an iHub hotspot for your home or office at a substantial revenue. And then from there, they're going to click into access. So this is really about getting access, right? So as Scott said, an approach for this would be to just talk to your healthcare professional, talk to the office manager, and give them a card with your link on it. So if you're doing warm markets, it's a little bit different than sending out email blasts because you probably won't get a lot of response. If you just blast your doctor's office, your chiropractor, your dentist, you're probably not going to get a lot of response. But if that personal touch is there, you have a relationship, 9 out of 10 times they're going to take a look at it, especially if you ask for permission, hey, from the doctor. Maybe you only have a few minutes with them, but say, hey, listen, Dr. Scott, I've got something really cool. I think your office is perfect for a hotspot. I have one in my home. With your permission, I'd like to talk to your office manager and give them some more information. Right. And then you go to the office manager, you give them the card. Or if you have the relationship like Chuck had, then it's real easy, right? Anything that Scott sounds like anything that Chuck put out in front of Scott, you'd always take a look at it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, but I'm sure you've looked at a few things over the years if that's the case, right? So those are a couple of different techniques of maybe getting this funnel out in front of your healthcare professionals. Okay. So after they get access, the first thing that we always do in a funnel, in a well-designed funnel, is we're going to grab that information, right? We want to get that information from them. We want them to be a part of what we're doing. So they're going to fill in their own email. They're going to put in their own information there, and then they're going to get access. Okay. So now we've gathered that lead, right? Now that lead goes into the system, that email series kicks in, and you're going to find as you use digital marketing funnels, most of the action comes in the follow-up, right? You got to touch them so many times. And that's what a good funnel or a good funnel system will do. It'll continue to touch them through the system. Okay. You guys have seen this video. Well, Chuck just tried to play it for us, but I'll go ahead and play it because if you haven't seen it, it's well done. There's a lot of information here. And that's why we decided to include a direct sign up, because there's so much quality information here that Scott and Stephanie did. You really can sign up directly from this. So let's go ahead and play it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Tunis, a board-certified ophthalmologist, a fellow of the American College of Surgeons, and I've been in active full-time practice for 36 years. Over that time, I've had a lot of people come to me with different business opportunities.
Audio went away.
Yeah, guys, the audio's out.
Rick, you muted yourself.
To me that I could earn Helium cryptocurrency without purchasing anything simply by hosting a Helium hotspot in my office. I had to investigate the opportunity.
The Helium Network is a community-based wireless network of hotspots that provide a cost-effective and secure way for the low-power smart devices to send data to and from the internet, or the Internet of Things.
With iHub Global, I in fact discovered that I could host a Helium hotspot in my office at no cost to me without ongoing maintenance, fees, or software or licenses, and I would in fact earn Helium cryptocurrency. Now, as a practicing healthcare professional, I can tell you that no one has ever offered to put an income-producing piece of equipment in my office for anything less than $50,000, let alone for nothing. I also had the option at my discretion to purchase the hotspot for $400 at any time up to 90 days after installation, and then the percentage of Helium cryptocurrency that I would earn would increase fivefold. But it would be my option. I could remain a host if I wished.
Consider the future integration of these rapidly evolving technologies, the expansion of telemedicine, the evolution of smart diagnostic equipment, the increased use of remote patient monitoring devices, the Helium network and its ability to transmit data from smart devices far less expensively than cellular or GPS, a cryptocurrency linked exclusively to the tangible infrastructure of the Helium network, and a passive income stream of Helium cryptocurrency, which has appreciated over 4,000% in less than 1 year.
I thought I must share this opportunity, and the network is even more valuable when it expands. So I looked out my window and realized that my dentist is 2 miles down the street. She has a perfect location for a hotspot, and she'll understand this concept right away. So I had to tell her about it. I thought maybe she'll be interested, and maybe she won't. No sales pressure. But one thing I'm quite sure of, if I don't tell her about it now, in 5 years, she'll be asking me why I didn't. Oh, hi, Stephanie, right?
Hi, Scott. And yes, you're right about that. This is multiple cutting edge technologies all converging into one perfect storm. So do what I did with the link below. Do your own research.
And thanks for watching.
All right, guys. So you guys can see that this video needs to be tweaked a little bit. Scott's already laying out a plan for that, but it's very effective, and we're blessed to have it in here. So after that, we want them to qualify their address. Right now, we're kind of bringing them. Hey, you got access. You got access. We grab the lead. Right, the follow-up system starts. Right, and from there, we want to check their address. So if they give us their address, now we know that we have a quality lead. Now, this is a hosting model that Scott and Stephanie are talking about. And so it's a little bit different. So that's why we're going to put this in beta test, and we're going to actually tweak out some of the videos because we want more of an affiliate acquisition model is really what we're going to be looking for in the next version of this. But right now it's a hosting model. The pitch, the information is about hosting. Doesn't mean that if you don't have miners to host, you can't still use this funnel and just kind of point them in the direction of getting reserving a unit, right? Or if you have them, you can rotate and host a funnel, certainly. So after they do that, they want to qualify their office. And this is where the custom stuff starts. I didn't actually upload a picture, but there would be a picture right here for me, and you got a little custom message. And now they could sign up for free, right? If they want to go ahead and sign up and just join the affiliate network right from here, now you know you have an incredibly hot lead. So there's almost 3 stages in this funnel. We're grabbing a lead, right? Which I think you're going to find is if you get the traffic and you get this in front of your healthcare professionals, you're going to get a lot of leads from it, okay? Number 2 is if they put in their address, now we know that they're interested in a miner. And then number 3, you got an extremely hot lead if they sign up their office right there, okay? And then they're going to agree to the terms and so forth. And then there'll be a thank you page after that. So this is the funnel that we're going to test. You guys, we're giving it to you for free within the suite. I want you guys to go out there and test it, use it. I think that Scott gave us some great ideas of the approach that you can use to get in front of a healthcare professional. I would not go out there and run with this thing and drive traffic to it at this point. That's really not what we're looking for. We're really looking for you guys to test this in your own local communities. And like Scott said, some of the best locations that we've seen are right, our healthcare offices, right? They're right in the middle of towns. There's going to be a lot of IoT data in those areas as well. And so I'm really excited about it. So if you guys want to ask Scott, or Chuck or myself any questions, we're going to go ahead and open it up here. I'm going to stop the share. And so how, just related to this funnel's particular, and then maybe we'll open it up and expand it beyond that. So Paula, go ahead. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, hi, thanks. So, as I was looking at all of that, I'm wondering if there's a way that somebody can correct grammatical and typing errors. For example, it says, like below the video, It says qualify my office address to a host a minor. So, there's an extra A in there, which,
Okay.
yeah. And I personally, I cringe having to send out stuff to other people that have grammatical and typing errors on it. To me, it just makes it look.
Paul, so I don't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, but definitely submit that. We love your help on that. It may be great. We're just kind of rolling this out really right here live. So we haven't even had it gone through that process yet, but we definitely would love your help on it. So if you want to comb through it and send us an email, that'd be great. info@ihub.global.
Okay.
How do you put your hand up?
There's a little button down there in the, I think in the thing there. So, but we'll get to you. So, but thank you, Paula. Matt, go ahead, bud.
Hey, thanks for hosting the calls. I really appreciate it. Very helpful.
Yeah, buddy.
Question I had for you, is there an ideal distance we should be spacing these apart? Because I know you don't want them too close. I guess what's the target range now? Now there's some tools you can use out there to kind of estimate that I can send to you. But do you have kind of an idea of what we should be shooting for?
Are you talking about the minors itself? Or are you talking about
Yes.
doctors?
The minors when we're placing in the
All right, well,
business.
let's
card.
answer this. I'm going to jump into that, but I want to kind of stay on the funnels if we can, Matt. But yeah, about 300 meters. Helium.place is an incredible tool. It gives you everything you need for the placement. And there's a lot more tools coming from us as well. You're going to see in the near future. But anything specifically related to the funnels, Matt, you want to ask?
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks,
I had a
buddy.
comment. My hand
Go
went up.
ahead, DS. Whoever DS is. Go ahead, bud.
Rick, this is Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
I wanted to ask a question about the live webinar funnel. I've just started marketing that. And were those leads going to go into a specific bucket in our back office?
Yes, they go into, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a specific leads bucket for that funnel.
I haven't seen it yet. There's the one for the hosting and the lead magnet.
Yeah, I have to get something that separates it out of the other one.
Oh, so they're where are they going into now though, John? So you know, so
They're all
there's-
going into the lead magnet one.
okay,
Okay.
great.
Thank
Thank you, Debbie, for pointing that out. So we'll separate that. Every funnel should have its own lead bucket, so you guys
Right.
can manage and manage that. So apologize for that. We'll get it done. So good job. Thank you, Jeff. Go ahead.
Hey, just a real quick question. Business cards, so you can approach like a dentist or a doctor. I noticed that the company doesn't have any business cards in the back office.
Yeah, good point. We actually talked about that today. We actually had some samples up and so forth for, kind of a business card. I don't know if you guys can see this, but a call to action card. And that's what Scott was talking about is develop something like that. So we'll get some templates related specifically for this funnel for sure, because I think it's going to be very effective with what we call a drop card, right? And it could be a flyer, it could be anything, but it's very effective with a business card. So we'll definitely get some business cards made up for that. Especially, I think this funnel is going to be definitely necessary for that. So, okay. I know Scott's already working on it for us.
I'm going to create a couple of templates that will basically do the best we can so that it doesn't end up in the round file. That'll go in someone's pocket and they'll definitely look at it later. So those are on the way.
And so, like you mentioned, Scott, like you get those a lot, right? Now you say you read everything and look at everything, but is there certain things that you look at more? Obviously.
Well, yeah, there are. Yeah, I mean, if somebody hands me a card and says I do pressure washing, if you need me, I got it. I don't really need a pressure washer right now. Or if I got mobile auto detailing, okay. But if somebody said, hey, again, the compliment, you got a great location, a great office to host a Helium, and you'd get paid to do it. Now that card's different, because I'm not going to think about it and I'm not going to ask them about it because I don't have time, but I'm going to look at it later. And so I'm going to put a couple of things on that card, a couple of more teasers that are really forefront in healthcare professionals' mind. And that is, what's it going to cost me? If it's $500, so what? And how secure is it? And I'm going to put a teaser on there that says that it's secure, because that's the next question that comes up.
Yeah.
We'll have those soon.
That's great information. Great point, Jeff. Thanks for bringing that up. And again, I was fascinated just having this conversation with Scott earlier because, you know, he lives and breathes. How many years now, Scott? It's been a while, right?
In a dark room, seeing patients for 38 years.
Yeah. So for 38 years, a lot of experience there. I'm sure a lot of people have dropped things in your lap and you know what works and doesn't. So good stuff. So Beth, go ahead.
Hi, first of all, I just want to acknowledge like all the work that you guys have put in. It's really great that you've made so many templates, and I know that there's so many moving parts of this whole thing. And for me to come along right now and point out something that's wrong, I want you to know that I do appreciate everything else that you're doing.
Well,
So,
you can just send us an email too if you want to, Beth.
about the appreciation.
No. Do you want to?
Oh, my concern, it's concern about things that aren't like exactly right. The video that you just showed us, it has the doctor talking about you can buy it for $400. If I talk to a doctor and I say, oh, sorry, it's $500. Now I've done something that's really switched for a whole $100, and that really breaks the trust. So I fundamentally don't know how to use this funnel in that way.
It's up to you whether you want to use it. Again, that's why we're in beta test. We know we need to redo the videos and we're going to be doing that. So it's out there. You guys can use it as part of your suite. We're not charging you for it, but that's completely up to you. And like I said, the video is a little bit dated. That's why we're going to be redoing it. But we've had so many people that have wanted this out there. So that's the reason why we're putting it out there in a beta. So
I mean, is there a way is there a way for us to be able to edit our own emails in there? Because I think still the video that goes to the training video on both of them, every time I click, they just go to a blank blocked spot. So the videos aren't working for me.
Well,
I don't.
What you were sending is sending an email and we'll do the best we can. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Laura, go ahead.
Hi, thank you so much for making it free. I'm so excited. My question is, do you really only suggest doing warm calls now? Because it's hard to like go out with the environment and things like that. Is there any kind of cold opportunity that you think we could use with this funnel?
So again, a great point from the caller before that I think Debbie, but you know, because it's a little dated. So we really don't want to get out there too much. We want to get it fixed. You know what I mean? But again, you guys have wanted this thing. We said we were going to get to you that. So we want to get it out there. So I recommend not going too crazy with it. If you have a relationship with a doctor, I don't think it's a big deal to say, hey, listen, it's $500, right? Or whatever. But that's up to you guys, whether you want to go down that road or not. But I would wait till we kind of get some data. You know, usually when we roll out a funnel, we have a lot of data behind it. We know it works, right? And so this is a very unique funnel. It's a very niche funnel. And so that's one of the reasons why we want to get it out there, let you guys use it a little bit, play with it, get some data from behind it, and then get some feedback. And then we'll kind of get it ready. But we will put some banners out there for you guys that are doing the lead magnet, the Facebook hack, which is very powerful. And so we'll get some Facebook banners out there so you can start using that as well. But just be patient with it. Just use it for a couple of weeks locally and then and go from there. But I appreciate your enthusiasm, Laura. It's great.
Chuck, I mean, Rick, I have one comment on that question. A cold call versus warm call. A cold call to a doctor's office is low yield. However, one of the things that all the local medical societies do, whether it's the dental group or the ophthalmological group or whatever it is, they usually have monthly department meetings, and they hold them at restaurants and things like that. And they're always looking for sponsors or speakers or somebody to present something interesting. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go and buy dinner for 60 doctors, but the chairman of the local department, whether it's internal medicine or family practice or whatever it is, you might reach out to some of those people. If you don't say, hey, I'd like to make a little presentation, or I'd like to do a sponsorship, or what can I do to help sponsor a monthly meeting, and just do a 5-minute presentation. And those are untouched gold mines, because those chairmen and those organizers are constantly looking for interesting things to look at other than medicine, and they're looking for low-level sponsors. This doesn't cost a lot of money to do this. You know, say, oh yeah, I'll spring for the hors d'oeuvres or whatever, however it might be. But that's as far as cold calls, that's a different kind of a warm call that I think is an untapped gold mine.
That's a wealth of information. That's a gold mine right there, Scott, what you just said.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking of. Thank you so much. That's perfect. Yeah, groups.
So you get, Laura, you're not going to get that on the calendar tomorrow. So hopefully as you go out there and do that, we'll be working on the scenes and we'll get that video tightened up for you. So we get some of that older stuff out of there. But yeah, that's exciting, Scott. Thank you for sharing that. It's great stuff.
This is Alita. Can I make a comment?
Go ahead.
This is interesting because I went to see my ophthalmologist last week and we got into conversation. I'm retired and I told her I'm working with crypto now. And she burst open. She said her son does, he's a burner. He's a miner.
Burner.
And the thing of it is, I was thinking about how to approach her so it wouldn't turn her off. This video would help, and even having a card to give her. Also, by the way, this is something you might be interested in, or your son might be interested in, because a lot of people are looking into other ways of making money.
Yeah,
like I said, a card would be very good. It's not offensive. It's not, doesn't appear to be such a hustle.
Yep, absolutely. And Scott's working on those templates. I'm excited. I'm gonna let him take that over because he knows this better than any of us. So Serbert, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Mr. Lewis. Unmute yourself there, buddy.
Yes,
you
good to be here and good to have me on. In your previous video on the funnel, you did a video on how to put it on Facebook. Will this new funnel be on a video so you can follow that as well, or you can just modify what we have?
Yeah, I mean, you could take any funnel, you know, any Facebook profile for really anything, and you can create a lead magnet funnel. And this certainly would work as well. You know, a little bit different, you know, usually a lead magnet funnel will have an offer, right? A free book, a free crypto book, a free something, right? A webinar, right? A free webinar, crypto webinar. That's why you guys are using that free crypto webinar, and it's doing very well. We're actually going to add an ebook to that very shortly. So you can actually, now you're giving away an ebook on crypto as well. So those are the kind of things that really make that Facebook hack, if you would, or that lead magnet work. And so this isn't really optimized for that yet, but we will work on a version of that for sure. So you guys can get creative if you want to go ahead and do that. But my recommendation for now would be probably stay with that webinar because it's pulling very, very well. And I would use that as a lead magnet before I'd use this initially, but we'll work towards that. So.
Okay. And secondly, on that funnel video that you did, it shows that you would give away this book. But when I tested it, it didn't lead to giving you a free book on The Secret. Is that one, something like The Secret?
Yeah, I think, again, I have to go back and refresh, but I think that when we did that training, we were using the lead magnet funnel, which it's probably my least of the favorite right now. So now we're going to bring a crypto book into the webinar one. Right. Okay. And we might even do something with a doctor funnel as we optimize for it. But the key for that hack is to give away something for free. You know, whether it's a webinar, whether it's an ebook, whether it's a report, a blueprint, something like that. That's where you get that hook and people come in. And this one is really designed initially to be a warm market funnel. Go talk to your doctor, give them a card, get them introduced to it, and just kind of test it out. And again, we realize that this is a beta version of it, and I apologize a few mistakes and the video is a little antiquated, but I think you guys can go out there. If you have relationships with your doctors, your professionals, I think you guys can go ahead and use this and have some good results with it. But we will optimize it in all those areas. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate it. Jeff, go ahead. Or JD.
Yeah, I just had a recommendation for the cards. One, if we could get the QR code put on there, that'd be great because that just makes it easier for people. And then if we could get cards made just for the generic person as well, that'd be awesome.
Oh, you mean just like regular business cards? Okay, good. Thanks, bud. Good one. Jeff, you back or no? Jeff? All right, Tracy.
I think I already asked my question. I was the one that asked the question about the business cards.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. All these hands are up. I'm just calling on Tracy Gale. How are you? Go ahead, Tracy.
Hey, how are you? Everything sounds really, really great. I have this particular funnel question. So do you want to come back to me?
Yes. This is Funnel Friday, Tracy.
No. Yeah, okay. Well,
no, go ahead. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. and it's very fun on Funnel Friday. I love it. So are you going to do funnels for other businesses besides the doctors is one of my questions.
Yes. Real estate is probably our next big thing, real estate, because obviously if you guys have real estate agents or developers in your iHub businesses, you know that they are crushing it. Mm-hmm. And so those are great people to go attract to. So real estate is on the docket and a few other things as well. So we'll do a lot of verticals
And then I was wondering about, other than speaking directly to somebody in the office, if you don't have that relationship with the doctor or the office staff, how would you do that?
How would you approach that? Let's throw that over to Scott. I mean, Scott, what would you say would be effective or get their foot in the door if there's no relationship, if you're just kind of walking in?
Well, if you're in the door, there's always a medical gatekeeper as well as an administrative gatekeeper, whether it's a PA or the nurse Ratchet, or there's somebody there that is typically that healthcare professional's right-hand person. And, as we get more and more insulated, unfortunately, as the physicians get more and more insulated from actual patient care, there's always somebody in between. And there's usually a key person. If you can't get to administration, the doctor's PA or the doctor's right-hand nurse or tech.
And what would you say to them?
I would say, again, compliments go a long way, because we're used to hearing how everything's maybe not right or perfect. You got a great office, you got a great staff. This office has a real opportunity to generate a passive income based on its location and based on based on the nature of how your practice works. You really should take a look at this or show this to your doctor. And sometimes, the staff is always looking for a way to generate income as well. So, this can generate income for your office. This can reduce your overhead. And it's an easy way to get in. You probably should either look at it or have the doctor take a look at it. And you tell the staff that they have a way to make more money for the office, and what they're thinking is, geez, if the overhead goes down, I make more money. So they're likely to hand it over and say, hey, doc, take a look at this. It reduced the overhead on the office. Less overhead means more salary.
Right.
That would be my best suggestion. Look for that right-hand person.
Okay. And then Rick, after you get if you were to get a doctor's office, you would then want to market to the area so that you could potentially get the hubs talking to each other. You would need to.
Yeah. The nice thing about getting in the doctors, if you got one doctor's ear, I have the other doctors in my area's ears way better than anybody else does. In other words, it's like a club. If I call up my retina surgeon and say, which I did, and I said, Bobby, you got to get into this. He goes, fine. Where do I sign? I mean, you don't have to. You make one or two contacts, and it's a kind of a different kind of club. And they're all around each other, and they all know each other, and their offices are all a bright distance apart. You just got to get the right one in. He'll tell his friends, and then and he'll say, "Well, you got to go to see. They'll say, yeah, you got to go see. You got to go see Laura to get the hot spot. She's the one that connected me. So you can talk to her.
Right.
And that's what I've seen. And it's.
Okay, so could you come back to me, Rick, because I have the just this funnel questions.
Okay, sure. Hey guys, that was a great comment Scott just made. You get into one, you might have a town, you might, if maybe you don't get into your own, or it's a brand new town, and you just got to get one, right? Get one to get into that network, and it starts to light up, some great locations. And back to what Tracy said is like, you might want to target where there's already hubs, right? There's doctors' offices everywhere, right? So, and find a good place where there's already hub, because you want to place that thing and get them excited. If Scott gets excited, he's going to tell everybody, right, what he has. How many doctors and professionals do you have, Scott, that you've told? Scott? We lose him? We might have lost Scott.
At this point, it becomes it's good that you become a victim of your own success with this, which is why there's not enough hours in the day for you. And at this point, I'm lucky enough to be selective on who wants, because based on location.
Yeah.
But as I say, you make one or two key contacts, and that it takes care of itself.
Yeah. And I found, guys, too, just on a general comment, that businesses in general are the easiest sell, right? There's not too many businesses that you can go and say, listen, I'm going to add an additional revenue stream, because what's business? We're in it to make money, right? We're in a business to make money. I'm going to add additional revenue stream, a passive income stream. It's not going to cost you anything. If they really do the due diligence, not too many of them say no. And I would imagine with the healthcare professional as well, if the due diligence is done, they're probably not going to say no, right? So I think businesses are the low hanging fruit, especially when you're starting out in an area. So.
I think the other target market in the healthcare is you don't want to approach corporate medicine that has 40 physicians in a big office and 400 people making decisions for them. You want to target what unfortunately is becoming a little bit like a dinosaur, the 1, 2, 3 solo practitioner office where they make their own decisions, where they're fleet of foot in terms of entrepreneurial activity. They don't need, to get Cigna's permission to do this. And that's, and who those people are by the way they practice. It's the chiropractors and the dentists and some of the physicians. You want the people who can make the decision themselves without saying, well, I got to get 400 partners permission and I got to get corporate permission. That's less likely to be an open door to you.
Yeah, great point there. Great point. Daryl, go ahead. Daryl?
Oh, okay, now I'm unmuted, I think.
Yeah, hey, bud.
I have recently explored joining my local chambers of commerce, Rotary clubs, et cetera, like that. And I know they allow monthly presentations. And Dr. Scott's experience, is it likely that medical personnel would be at those kind of functions?
Scott?
Yes, I do. I think they are well represented in Rotary and those kind of clubs. They're generally there. I think they would be in that audience.
Yeah. All right, thank you. I haven't attended any meetings yet, with COVID just opening things back up. I've explored it here recently.
Great opportunity there, Daryl. Good point there. And let us know how it goes. Jeff, go ahead. No, I'm sorry, Jeff, you've already answered. Sandra, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Rick. I'm just wondering, in the Turn On Email series, it looks like it's still geared toward, it's talking about,
yeah,
had an outstanding decision, but it leans on the $1 million. And are you going to change that a little bit? Because I am a healthcare professional and I'd really like to not feel like I'm going to make $1 million overnight.
Yeah. We're going to change the whole series a little bit, but yeah, we said that in the beginning that this series is going to get tweaked out. I'm going to have Scott's input on that. So in the next couple of days, we'll see that email series, but we want to put something in there for now as you guys get up there and test it. So yes, absolutely. 100%.
Thank you. Looks great.
Thank you. Who's next here? Doc Bannister.
Hey, everybody. Listen, wanted to ask a question in, I don't want to get off topic, but I wanted to know what kind of, as far as use of the logo of iHub or whatnot, are there any things that stipulations or whatnot? Because, I thought about the possibility of putting it on a golf shirt or whatnot, as a representative, or do I need to represent my own business, with my own logo or whatnot? I just want to know where the stipulations were.
Yeah, it's a great question. And, we're so young, we are working on compliance stuff right now. And so we haven't really made a lot of rules and regulations on that. There will be a logo that says, independent affiliate or independent
distributor
on it as well. And so we'll make that available to you guys. And we prefer that, versus going out there and putting something together and then having it change it later because we haven't put that compliance on it. So I appreciate that comment, Doc.
Good deal. Okay.
Thank you. Chuck, go ahead, Chuck. Mr. Mossman, go ahead.
Hey, yes, sir. How you doing there, Rick?
Good, Chuck.
Good. Hey, it's been a great meeting here today. A lot of the questions have already been answered. I had my hand up a little bit ago, but you guys are covering it pretty well. I would just like to add one thing to the business card idea. I've been in business since I was 19 years old. I'm pushing almost whatever. That's pretty old anyway, but the QR codes you develop and put on your card, it's got your information on it. And somebody can just scan it and pop right to your sites you want to go to, or one of your funnels you want to go to. It makes it really, really convenient for people. And the gentleman just a second ago that mentioned the Rotary and the Chamber of Commerce's, as you know, we're reaching out to businesses. That's the greatest possibility. I mean, the greatest, I think, one of the easiest ways to go. And at my restaurant, I have a steakhouse out here. So we're doing a breakfast for the Chamber of Commerce every other Thursday. So it really makes a great opportunity to run a little short video or just share the idea, because it's amazing what you can do with the businesses and the chambers and so forth.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about all. You guys have had a great meeting today. It's great information.
Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate you, bud. All right. I can't tell who's Laura. Have you been called on? I can't tell who's been called on, who hasn't. But any other questions? Go ahead and unmute yourself. You got one.
Alita, back
Alita.
again.
Hi, Alita.
Since you mentioned hotspot placement, if you're trying to get a hotspot, you have to indicate the location. Does the company monitor that, or is it restricted to prevent oversaturation in any particular area?
No.
How do you
no.
think that works?
Anybody can put a hotspot anywhere. And so, including not just iHub, but anybody else is doing hotspots. And so, that is a challenge. So that's one of the reasons why we like to, focus on, some of the territories that aren't been, monopolized, right? Early on, we felt like, hey, the low-hanging fruits, the big cities, and don't get me wrong, we have a lot of miners in big cities, and I recommend big cities and check your address in big cities, especially when you have height involved. Right. But small town America, small town wherever, small town Canada, small town world, I think is a great opportunity, because that's going to be the last frontier for this drive, right? We all know that this is not something we're going to be doing forever, right? This is a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year run, whatever it is. And we're trying to get as much territory as we can. You want to get as many hubs in your network as you possibly can. And so I think the last frontier is going to be those smaller towns, smaller cities, and so forth. And so I love that strategy. But again, we all live in different places and we have different strategies, but there is no restriction. Anybody can drop a miner anywhere. But once the coverage is there, there's not going to be any more miners, right? So that's why the opportunity, I can't stress this enough. I know everybody is stressed about getting the miners, and believe me, Chuck and I and our team would love to be able to send everybody their miners tomorrow, and we're working hard. We got some incredible things happening to get inventory and control inventory and so forth for all of us. But at the end of the day, it's really about signing up affiliates right now and getting them to reserve a miner. The people that are doing that right now in numbers and in volume are going to win this game, are going to have the most. I promise you that. So sign up a free affiliate, reserve a miner. Sign up a free affiliate, reserve a miner. Because some of you guys might be listening to this, I don't have a miner. I can't host a miner, right? I understand that 100%. So the strategy is just, go down that road. You could have 100, 200, 300, 400 people front line to you in your gold, by the time those miners release. And that's a life-changing moment. Trust me. A life-changing moment. And all of a sudden you have that many people that miners are available to them. So just keep that in mind. There's an opportunity. If everybody had miners right now, we wouldn't have that opportunity. It really is an opportunity for iHub and all of us. So I'll keep that in mind, but great comment. Thank you. Anybody else? Got a few more minutes, guys.
Jonita, can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
A while back, I paid $106 for a funnel.
Okay.
Is this part of that or what?
Yes, ma'am. You actually have 4 funnels now in that package. So it's all in that area right there. Again, we're in a beta test with this. There will be a professional package down the road. It might include a doctor funnel, a dentist funnel, a chiropractor funnel. Will all be separated, but right now it's a beta test. Again, it's a little bit premature. We're launching it for you guys. You asked for it, and we're giving it to you. But there's going to be a lot of changes and tweaks on it. But again, warm market, I think this is a very sufficient funnel. I would share this with my doctors, and I will share this with my doctor, my dentist, for sure. So it's up to you guys whether you want to use it in this beta test or not, but it's available to. So the answer is yes.
Okay, thank you.
Laura, did you have another question?
I do.
No, does my hand still up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Lots of hands are still up. Go ahead.
Another question about the funnel. So where do the leads go? If you use the funnel, does it come to you, or is it one pool?
No, it goes right into your leads account. So again, we mentioned that earlier. Probably if I know John, by the time this call is over, he's going to have that leads bucket there for us. So every funnel has a leads bucket. It's right there in your drop-down menu. It says leads, and you should be able to find those leads. And again, the automatic follow-ups happening. And again, we're going to tweak those email series out a little bit. But those touch points are key. And when you get a text, right, you have a new lead, that's the key. That's the magic, following up. You want to touch that lead. I'm not just talking about the doctor funnel. I'm talking about any lead that comes through a funnel, is that you want to touch them immediately when you get that lead. And it takes 2 seconds to text somebody, just say, hey, whatever, set up an appointment. I'd love to get in touch with you. I'd love to get more information, but become a real person at that point. You got to go from the high tech to the high touch. And that's how you do it, because texting works. Text marketing works in a big way. Okay. More questions. Michael, did you have a question? All right, guys. Scott, do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap this up here today?
I had one more question, Rick.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I think that, sure.
As far as affiliate acquisition, do you think that the live webinar funnel is the best to be using?
I do. I mean, I think this is not a cookie cutter deal, right? I mean, this thing is wild, right? I mean, it's one of those unique things that we're doing. It's never been done before. It's going to constantly change. We know that we have to embrace that. We have to embrace the patience. So I think having that, getting in front of a presentation is key. I'm not a big fan of the automated sign up because you get a lot of riffraff. We did put it into this doctor funnel because Scott and Stephanie do such a great job delivering the message and covering the content. But I think the live webinar is definitely the best way. And just, if you get as many people on that live webinar, people get on the live webinar, they're signing up, right? They are. Most 9 out of 10 sign up. So if you get them on the live webinar and they get the information, most likely they're signing up. And you can let, Chuck, and there's gonna be a lot more people. Our advisory board's gonna get involved with doing those. We're gonna fill the schedule more. We're seeing a lot of good traction with that funnel. Again, as mentioned earlier, we're gonna actually optimize it a little bit more, make it a little more of a lead magnet. So it's not just a free webinar, but it's also a free crypto ebook where they can learn and kind of start to digest. Crypto is a big word right now. Everybody loves it. Everybody wants to get involved with it. And so we're going to give more content. It's all about adding value, right? Adding value to some of these people's lives. So they're in your ecosystem and they want to know your content. And so I definitely agree with the live webinar.
Okay.
Definitely a strong one.
I had been focusing more on the hosting funnel, but because of the length of time to get the units and such, I've been refocusing a little bit on affiliate acquisition and kind of thought that the live webinar funnel was probably the one to be using based on the last funnel Friday that you were talking about that.
Yeah, and again, it's all about data, right? It's all about right now. There's not a ton of people using it, but the people that are using it are getting good results, and so we're seeing it filled up more and more. So, and it also works very well with that lead magnet, that Facebook hack, and you can run a lot of traffic through that, right? So I would recommend it definitely in your arsenal. I mean, if you're really into digital marketing, you're trying to do affiliate acquisition, you might want to be testing a lot of different funnels, right? And so, especially this funnel maybe is designed more to, hey, go out with a card and hand it to your doctors, right, in your local area. But when you're talking about the live webinar funnel, you can kind of go after the masses and touch as many people as you can. So good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I jump back in?
Yeah, go ahead, Tracy.
Okay, so this might be, for another session, but marketing, just in general terms, as a non-marketer, I don't know too much about what I'm doing, except I am watching, I'm plugging in, I'm trying different things, but I put up the marketplace ad, and are you going to be doing something where we can actually see an actual ad, its verbiage, how it's set up, what is optimally working, and then
there's one back there now, that sample ad, and some of the verbiage I use now.
With the little black box on it.
What's that?
Is that the one that shows the black box? Is that the ad you're talking about?
Yes. And that was taken from, and it's a little bit different because, I ran with that hosting thing when I first tested it, and again, I'm kind of shifting off of that as well. I can't remember who made the comment, but, because the units aren't available, right? If you have units, the hosting funnel is a great way to do it, right? And it's certainly a good way to do it in your local community as well. But definitely, I think definitely you got to kind of play with those ads a little bit. The cool thing about Marketplace, you can put as many as you want in, right? Sometimes they're going to get shut down. Yeah, I understand that. You just keep putting them in. The cool thing about it is you're not going to jail on Facebook with Marketplace, right? It's never happened to me, and it's never happened to anybody that I know of. So if it happens, I apologize, but it's just never happened to me. So it's a different kind of entity. But you're not always going to get your ads approved, and they'll let you. Probably about 8. I got rejected probably 8 and got 2 in, right? And so you're gonna have to do several of them, but I'm still running the same 2 original ads, and I still get, probably 3, 4, sometimes 10 leads a day. you know, so it definitely works if you get in those garage sales. Those garage sales are gems because people
Right.
are looking, and then the marketplace. I've just had a lot of success with them.
So I had 2 that got approved, 1 that got shot down. The 2 that got approved, I had 80 views on 1, but no hits, like nobody did anything with it. And the other one, which was the webinar one,
Mhm.
did UGOTS, nada, zip, zero,
Not-
zip.
And yeah, I had to take a look at your ad, Tracy, what you're saying. If you want to fire it over to me, you can. Just shoot it over to info and just say attention, Rick. I'll get it.
Okay,
And I'll take a look at it for you. But yeah, we'll put some more sample ads in there for sure for you.
that would be great because I don't know what I'm doing, really.
If
I just
it was
trying.
if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? So just stay consistent and so forth. And the other thing that we haven't talked a lot about is the fishing expeditions, right? You know, again, you guys take a look at your phones. You got 4 or 5 hours of FaceTime on that thing every single day. And if you would just take 1 hour or 30 minutes and get really, really consistent with it, and start to fish in different groups. So I call them rapport groups. Okay. Rapport groups where you have some kind of content, you have some kind of input, right? Where you can add value to that group, right? And you get there and you build that rapport every single day. You'll be amazed at how many people you can fish out of there that will want to take a look at your content and what you're offering. So we haven't really done a lot of big training on the groups because the marketplace and the yard sale groups are so easy, low hanging fruit. But I will definitely do a training on that in the future.
Okay, great.
Hey,
Thanks.
Rick.
Yes.
Hi, this is Pam. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know how to raise my hand. I'm sorry. So just sort of on the same subject. So I've watched both of your funnels to this point, and this is the first time I actually got to join one. But so I did marketplace ads just kind of based on the videos you've given us so far. And they've mostly been shot down. It seemed like at first they weren't, but now they keep getting shot down. And then I went and did the yard sale ads, and those are not being approved because I don't have something to sell, they're saying. So
Put $1 on there.
put $1.
Put $1 on there. Yeah, you just put $1 on there it's for your offer, right? And you're not really selling it, but that's one trick you can use to get through that fence post, if you would. You just put $1 on your ad.
Say it costs $1, but
Yeah, it'll get it approved. Then you can actually edit the ad if you want to too.
oh, well, that's not something I knew. So that's why I was asking. I was
Trick.
just
Yeah, there's little tricks you
trick.
learn along the way, and sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But again, you're going to get a lot of rejections, and especially if you're kind of breaking the rules, and unless you dig into all the Facebook rules and know what they are, you don't even know about it. And I don't even recommend that. I'd rather, again, if you're going to get shut down and put in Facebook jail, I'd say you need to know every rule. And when you're talking about ads, you need to know every rule, right? But in this case, you really don't. Because you're just going to get rejected with it. You're just going to say no. So I just keep trying to get a good ad. And once you get a good ad approved, you just got to keep renewing it, and you'll get some good traffic from it. Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question, Rick.
Yep. Last one.
I live in New York City. I live in an apartment building, 96 apartments. I live on the 2nd floor.
Okay.
And, would I need an antenna for a mining device?
Well, New York, the big cities are a little bit tricky because, again, we're talking about line of sight. I mean, I'd always recommend an antenna. But, there's little 3 dBi antennas that might be good. But I'd recommend testing. But an antenna is not going to hurt you. I can promise you that.
Oh, all right. Well, I live in an apartment. Where would the antenna go? Outside my window?
If you can get it outside your window, there's this little, there's a picture, I think, in the back office. We install a lot of antennas. We just use those little 3M broom holders. You buy them on Amazon for a few bucks and you stick the antenna right in there. If you inside works better, or outside works better, but if you can't get inside, at least put it on the inside, put it behind some blinds, but that'll make a big difference. Actually, we did this with a unit yesterday down in Jupiter. That was on the wood, not doing so well, and we put a stick antenna just on one of those 3M on the inside because it's an apartment building, and already, it's tripled in earnings. Not that it was doing that much, but it's tripled in earnings in one day just by putting an antenna in the window. So antennas, I always recommend because we've seen so much success with them, and we're going to have some great information on antennas and cables. It's right around the corner, so you'll have a one-stop shop to order your antennas and cables very soon.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we're a little bit over time here. I know you guys are busy, but thank you. Great showing today. Fun Funnel Friday. Chuck, thank you for those laughs in the beginning. And again, we appreciate all you guys. and get out there and do it. We'll do it again next week. All right. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you, brother.
You're welcome. See you.
All right, brother. Thanks, guys.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. No, I don't know if it's gonna work. Oh.
Hey, just testing. Testing 1, 2.
Oh shit, I'm still here.
let's do that. I know that.